Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Today in this session, I am going to discuss the topic Design of Compressive Member Strut. As we discussed in the previous lecture, that strut is an inclined member. Strut is of two types, single angle and double angle. Today we will discuss the design steps of the first single angle strut. For that you require two things, your IS 800 2007 and the steel table. Now first of all, let's have a look at the steps. We need to find out the slenderness ratio, which is denoted by lambda e. To find out lambda e, just refer clause 7.1.5.1.2 of the IS code. So there it is given lambda e equal to root over k1 plus k2 lambda vv square plus k3 lambda phi square. Now next we need to know what is k1, k2, k3 lambda vv and lambda phi. So the formula for lambda Vv is L by R Vv whole divided by epsilon root over pi square E by 250, and lambda phi is B1 plus B2 divided by twice T epsilon root over pi square E by 250. Now let's see what each of these denote. Here this epsilon is the yield stress ratio, which is denoted by 250 by Fy whole to the power 0.5. Then we need to know what is E. This E is our Young's modulus, 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per mm square. Then your RVV is radius of gyration about the minor axis, which you will get from the steel table. B1 and B2, these are the width of the two legs of the angle. T is the thickness of the leg. This will get from the steel table. Then L will be the center to center length of the supporting member. Then next, the values of K1, K2 and K3, these will take from table 12 of the IS code. Now just see table 12 of your IS code. There, first you have number of bolts at each end. There are two conditions given, greater than or equal to 2 and 1. So we generally take the number of bolts equal to 2 when it is not mentioned in the question. Then next we have different conditions, fixed and hinged. So we generally take fixed condition when the condition is not mentioned in the question. So now you see, for equal to 2 and fixed condition from your IS code, the values of K1 is 0.20, K2 is 0.35 and K3 is 20. After putting all these values, we'll get the slenderness ratio. After that, next we need FCD. So for FCD, just refer clause 7.1.2.1 of the IS code. So there it is given, FCD is equal to Fy by gamma mo divided by phi plus phi square minus lambda e square whole to the power 0.5. This lambda will be our slenderness ratio, lambda e. Then next, this Fy will be given to us. Then we need to know what is gamma mo. So this gamma mo you will get from table 5 of the IS code, and just see the first condition, it will be 1.10. Next is phi. So the formula for phi is given in clause 7.1.2.1 of the IS code. So phi is equal to 0.5, 1 plus alpha lambda e minus 0.2 plus lambda e square. Now next, we already have this lambda e with us. That is our slenderness ratio. So what we do not know, we do not know this alpha. Now to find out alpha, we need to know our buckling class. So just refer table 10 of the IS code. There you will get the buckling class for single angle and double angle strut as C. After finding out the buckling class, refer table 7 of the IS code, so you will get the value of this alpha. So this thing I'll show you with the help of a numerical. So let's see the question. It is given that design a single angle discontinuous strut. So directly in our question it is mentioned to design a single angle strut to carry a load of 120 kilonewton. So our load, which is denoted by P, it is given as 120 kilonewton. Then we need the factored load denoted by PD, which is 1.5 times of P. So we'll get the load as 180 kilonewton, and then we'll convert it into Newton by multiplying it by 1000. Then the length of the strut between center to center of the intersection is 3.0 meter. That means our L is given as 3.0 meter. So if you convert it to mm, it will be 3000 mm. So we'll keep all the units same. Next, Fy will assume it, since it is not given, we'll assume it as 250 Newton per mm square. Then we need the design stress, that is FCD. So for such design problems, we assume FCD always as 40% of Fy. So our 40% of Fy means 40 by 100 into 250. We'll get it as 100 Newton per mm square. Then refer clause 7.1.2 of the IS code. This is the clause 7.1.2 of the IS code, where it is given PD equal to AE FCD. PD is our factored load, A is the sectional area, and FCD is the design stress. Now here we know the values of PD and FCD, so from here we'll get the area. The area we got it as 1800 mm square. If we convert it to centimeter square, it will be 18 centimeter square. Now we will consider a section from the steel table such that the area of that section is greater than this 18. So we have to go to the steel table and see the single angle strut table. So just go to table 1 of the steel table. Now see, this is the table 1 of your steel table. Here see, this is the single angle strut. So we'll consider, this is a sectional area part, so we'll consider an area which is greater than 18 centimeter square. So see this, this is 20. We can take this section. So let's take ISA 90-90-12 such that the area is 20.19 centimeter square, and if you convert it to mm, it will be 2019 mm square. Next we require RVV. So see here, RVV for our section 90-90-12 is 1.74 centimeter. So these are the two things which you require, the sectional area and RVV. So these are our data for the section 90-90-12. See, this 90 is our B1, this 90 is our B2, and this 12 is the thickness. Then we got the sectional area as 2019 mm square and RVV as 17.4 mm. Next, let's see what is the buckling class from table 10 of the IS code. See, this is your single angle section. For this, the buckling class is always C. Now next, let's find out the slenderness ratio as per clause 7.5.1.2 of the IS code. So this is your clause 7.5.1.2. This is your lambda E, which I already mentioned in the design steps. Then this is for RVV. This is lambda phi. Then we have this table 12 with us. See, this table 12, nothing was mentioned in the question. So we'll take the condition as number of bolts equal to 2 and fixed condition. Then we'll get K1 as 0.20, K2 as 0.35 and K3 as 20. Now we'll put the values here, K1, K2, K3. Then we'll find out lambda VV. So L we have 3000. RVB we got from the steel table. This epsilon will be 250 by Fy to the power 0.5. Fy we have assumed as 250. Then this E is our 2 into 10 to the power 5. So putting all the values, we'll get the value of lambda VV as 1.94. Then let's find out lambda phi. So this is the formula. So B1 is our 90, B2 90, and twice T is 12. And this everything, when we put the values, we'll get the value of lambda phi as 0.084. Then putting all the values in the first equation in the slenderness ratio, we'll get it as 1.28. Then next we require alpha. So this alpha, I told you, for that we need the buckling class. We got our buckling class as C. Now let's see table 7 of the IS code. This is the table 7. So alpha is here your imperfection factor. So see, our buckling class is C. So if the buckling class is C, our alpha is 0.49. Now this is our phi. So phi is as per clause 7.1.2.1. So see, this is a formula for phi. This lambda is our slenderness ratio, lambda E. Then this alpha we got it as 0.49. So we'll put the values here. Then we'll get the value of phi. After that we'll put all the values in this equation FCD, Fy by gamma MO. This phi we got. This is your lambda E. Just we require gamma MO. This we'll get from table 5 of the IS code. This is the table 5 of the IS code. Now see, we'll always consider the first condition, resistance governed by yielding gamma MO. This will take it as resistance to buckling gamma MO 1.10. The second one condition will take it. So our gamma MO will be always 1.10. Now see this, putting the values, we got the phi as 1.58. and we got our FCD as 90.68 Newton per mm square. Now again we'll go to clause 7.1.2 of the IS code, and the final design load will find out PD equal to A into FCD. This A we got from the steel table, and FCD we have calculated 90.68. So putting the values, we'll get the load in Newton. So when you divide it by 1000, you will get the load in kilonewton. So finally we got the load as 183.08 kilonewton. So this is greater than the load which was given to us in the question, that is 180 kilonewton. So since the design load is greater than our given load, so our design is safe. Next we have the double angle strut. So there it is almost similar to the design of the column, but the difference is in the effective length. So in column we always find the effective length, the value of K, from table 11 of the IS code, but in double angle strut we'll find the value of K according to clause 7.5.2.1 or page 48 of the IS code. So there it is mentioned that the value of K is between 0.7 and 0.85. So we always take K as 0.85. So for further doubts, you can refer to our mail ID given in the link below. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you like the video, do subscribe to our channel and don't miss the bell icon for further notifications.